program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Welcome into the second final of the Father's Day Classic Tournament, the U11 final between the Orillia Kings and the Center Wellington River Hawks, one of the 4 teams in for Center Wellington in these finals today. I'm Spencer Byers alongside Michael Harrison. Michael, we have a great game here again. These two teams are undefeated. These had A and B pools, so these two teams do happen to come in both with clean records. We'll see who comes out with the loss.
Yeah, so really for us, again, you can never predict what's going to happen on Championship Sunday, but really we can't here, Spencer. Both teams 3-0. We're watching them out on the floor. These kids, that U11, U9 game we just did was great, but this U11, just to see the extra skill they're going to bring to the table, this really is something. So you can see there, the Owen Sound North Stars #1 team unfortunately just finished 2-1. We love having Owen Sound content, so a good showing by them, just not quite enough. But yeah, 3-0, both of these teams coming in today, so this should really be a great game.
Yeah, and you see there Orillia got here again. We usually see these younger teams be pretty good defensively because they have a really good offense, so great offense is a good defense. So we'll see if Orillia comes out with a loss, or again, you see there Center Wellington who does even better defensively, and again, you see that we talked about with the first Center Wellington team having a shutout in Lacrosse is almost unheard of. They also had a shutout as well as only allowing 1 goal in the first game.
Yeah, and giving up 4 goals in 3 games. That's really something. So that will be something to keep an eye on here for sure, Spencer, as you point that out. Lacrosse is not generally one of those defensive games where you're seeing shutouts, you're seeing 1-goal games. So we'll see what these two U11 teams have to offer.
Yeah, Orillia allow an average of 3 goals against, while Center Wellington averages to allow 1.3 goals a game. So I would expect we're going to see a lot more than those averages. They both average about 10 goals a game as the faceoff is won by the Kings, at least for the moment.
And Orillia in red, Center Wellington in white.
Back in white are Center Wellington. They were the same color as the U9s. We'll see if any of them wear their dark jerseys here tonight. As again, this is their 4 Center Wellington teams here tonight of the 5 finals. What a pass across down low. That shot, I believe it went wide.
Yep. But you can already see, hopefully you joined us for the U9 game or you're around the rink. You can see that these U11 kids, just with 2 more years of experience, just crazy how much better they get every year they play.
And not only that, the size of these kids, they look so much bigger than the U9s we just saw. But now Center Wellington with possession. I do want to mention the shot clock is in effect, so shot clock will be a factor in this one. Trent Crane now. Trent Crane, that shot bounced and it goes just wide.
It is Jackson Snyder in net for Orillia in red, and we'll just get a look at the back. Oh, geez.
A round shot. Orillia, that one goes high. Good opportunity, though, for Ben Anderson.
Looked like Drew Adams on defense for Center Wellington got a stick in there just at the last second.
And it looks to be starting off is #1, Brendan Lindsay. But they do have 2 goalies listed for Center Wellington, so we'll see if they switch halfway through.
Good point, Spencer. That's what I was waiting on. Yeah, so #1 in there, Brendan Lindsay. So as you said, both these teams, their keepers or their goaltenders must be pretty good. They're not giving up very many goals each game.
And here comes Center Wellington through. That's Shellswell. Fired across and immediately taken away by the red shirts. That one caught by Trent Crane. Or pardon me, by Ethan Vaherjoki.
We find out these teams get into these finals just kind of as we're figuring out the morning, and we'll get these names down, Pat, by the end, just in time for the game to end, eh, Spencer?
Just about, as the red shirts still have a chance towards the net, but taken down there was Chase Norris. Possession will go the other way. These are, again, 3 15-minute periods, pardon me, with run time till the third, where it could be stopped time if the game is within 5 goals.
Yes.
Around comes CW, passed in front, wide open, shot, that one just goes wide. A good attempt, though, by Denver Pritchard. Still a chance. Shot
geez.
Scores, and Airdrie gets the first marker of the night.
What a great display of tenacity by center Wellington. Snyder made ball over the net, and then they got it back. Snyder made a great chest save, wasn't able to keep the rebound in his crease, and as you said it, there was Tyler Airdrie to pick it up. So there's the ball coming back from behind the net, picked up by center Wellington, and a nice save there by Snyder, but the ball bouncing around, and it comes right to Airdrie, who makes no mistake down low.
And again, a little Selly there at the end. We saw some flair near the end of the U9 game, and I expect we're going to see more and more flair as the age groups progress.
Yes.
But now here comes Orillia. That shot just wide. That's Joey Norris. Joey Norris is number 2 and 3.
Yep.
Again, Orillia. Again, offenses will be run a little bit more often here as again the age groups get older. We see a little bit here of the spacing we normally would see with the older age groups.
Right.
At early as U11, they have the shot clock though in effect, and shot clock goes before the shot can be taken, so possession will switch.
So I mentioned we've got Hunter Stewart and his sister Taylor Stewart downstairs working the shot clock, working the game clock. You'll also hear the voice of Hometown Sports Hall of Famer Fred Wallace, who's, as always, up here doing the public address announcing in the building. Right
there, took a couple of whacks. He'll give it away to his numerical counterpart, Tyson Hawk. And Hawk will have a chance to run it down.
There's some speed from Hawk down the outside, but matching him there was Zachary Crooks, too.
Ben Anderson now around one, slips up, is able to keep possession, passed across, that shot airmailed over. Vaherioki just could not get that one on target. Now here comes center Wellington. That's Zachary Crooks.
A name we heard in the U9 game was Crooks, so wonder it'll be a family connection there for sure in center Wellington.
But immediately taken away, and Vaherioki will have another chance. Passed up, pop, fake. Goes down to the corner, takes a bump, trying to get a shot away, but a good collapse there by CW. Still with possession, though, takes a bump and shoots it. That one goes over, and Bat got a good beating for his trouble.
And you can see here, again, you mentioned it earlier, a bit more slowing it down and setting things up as we go through the age groups.
And now here come again CW. That's Stanley McDougall. McDougall takes the shot. That one off the post.
Yeah, outside of the post. And you can see Schneider kind of come off the post a little bit. So
Airdrie passed across. That shot scores, and the second opportunity goes for Stanley McDougall, and it's now 2-0 White Shirts.
What a great job by McDougall. He puts one off the post, continues around the net, and just finds the soft spot in the defense. People, I think, kind of forgot about him as he went behind the net, and finds just that open area. No mistake on almost a one-timer again on a great pass in from his teammate. You'll see it here on the replay. So McDougall going around the net, off the post, and look at this. He just keeps going, and everybody's watching the ball. Everybody really is ball watching. There it comes and just puts it down low and in.
Yeah, and that's Airdrie with the pass. Scored the first one, assists the second one. And that's a primary assist, might I add, as Orillia takes a shot from a mile away, and it's saved there by Lindsay. And I was worried Brendan would let that one go through his legs, but was able to keep it out.
You and I are thinking the same thing as from our position up here in the booth in the J.D. MacArthur Arena. Their depth perception made it think that was going 5-hole off his stick.
Airdrie now again with possession for CW. Been quite eventful here early, and that shot blocked, kept possession though. That shot again off the crossbar. That one was DeMules.
And he got open, and nice pick there. It looked like number 3, Ben Fitzpatrick, found him on the far side. Great passing here from center Wellington.
And now Colton Shepard alone. Shepard shot, scores! Colton Shepard. Perfect placement on that one, and Orillia is stopped the run of 2 there for the Riverhawks. And again, we talked about earlier, these two teams are undefeated, so this should be on paper an evenly matched game.
So do we give an assist to the crossbar, Spencer? What a turn of events here. McDougall had the shot off the crossbar. Orillia quickly takes it down, and you could see there number 13, Colton Shepard, was getting pushed to the outside, and he saw back against the grain that open space in the net and just sneaks it past Brendan Lindsay. So Aurelia's back in it here, folks.
Brendan right now. Passed across, just could not retrieve. That one was Drew Adams. Adams. Headed off there to Cole Walker. We had a Walker as well in the U9 game for CW.
Yep.
That ball passed to right. Atop it will go. They only about 9 to shoot. That ball shot but caught right in front there. But
Now,
immediately taken
We're
down
going to get a
and
penalty? We are.
shaken up down there is one of the Orillia Kings.
I think 3 center Wellington players kind of hit him from like behind as he picked off the ball and tried to get away. You'll see it here on the replay. He picks that ball off, and look at all 3. Oh gosh, got him right in the side of right in the ear, I think. So they're discussing it here. I'm interested to see this call because he did get him right up in the ear. 5 minutes.
And Zachary Guthrie Black is getting the minor here, slowly up to his feet. And I do want to mention, I had Cameron Shelswell as number 6. He's actually number 12 here tonight, who's not on my sheet. So we'll see if Shelswell comes back. But that means I do wonder if there is a 6. If there is happening to be a 6, I will not know the name of that player for Orillia. But regardless, that is a 5-minute major for high sticking. It's actually credited to number 2, Drew Adams. But I believe sitting in the box, I'm not sure if Mark Perry, our producer here today, got the penalty box cameras up tonight. But regardless, that's 5 minutes, and there it is. And I actually can't even see a number on the side of his jersey, but it does look to be number 2, Drew Adams. So Adams down for 5, and that's a major. So even with running clock, that should be a healthy amount of time for Orillia to get back in this game, if not tied a lead.
And you got to be so careful, of course, in this sport with the cross checks, because it can easily slip up off the shoulder pad up onto the ear.
And that shot
And they
scores
do it.
immediately as Ben Anderson, who's been one of the more impactful players for Orillia, and we're already tied. And again, it is run clock, so this will not be a full 5. But regardless, a quick goal like that will mean they keep the 5-on-4 for a lot longer, it feels like.
Yeah, no, what a great job by Orillia to jump on that right away. And you can see Anderson takes that pass, slips through those 2 defenders. So just as I was mentioning, those cross checks can get up high. Anderson got down low, and the cross checks kind of slipped off his shoulder blades. He was able to get in on net and make no mistake. And
Anderson ends up winning the faceoff, and immediately will go back into the offensive zone. Anderson around 1, around a second. Anderson gets his stick hit, but a caught shot. That one blocked.
Yeah, what a play. Anderson looks like he's coming to play on this power play.
Knocked down, there goes CW trying to retrieve it. There is Orillia, and they will, and it is Yokaharu. And that shot from a mile away, it just goes wide.
We can call number 16 doing a good job with his last name there, Ethan. Don't get a lot of chance to practice these names, but anyway, he's making an impact.
That shot also blocked. CW, again, trying to get away, cannot seem to clear. But the shot clock will reset. I didn't think it would for a second. That shot saved.
I guess it was enough of a change of possession, Spencer, to reset that shot clock.
Levon Hayes, pardon me. Passed over, shot again,
nice
good save by Lindsay. Brendan Lindsay showing, again, I think he's showing up to play.
Absolutely.
Here on this 5-on-4 for what feels like forever.
Yeah. Almost 3 minutes still left in that power play.
Keldon Campbell shot off the post.
Post, sorry, yep.
And Joey Norris will retrieve. Again, CW just cannot get this ball out. Hayes.
These posts playing a major role.
For both sides.
Yep, absolutely.
Hayes back for Campbell, going to shoot from 40 feet. That shot saved and retrieved for the second, and they're going to call touch in against the Kings, and the possession will go the other way.
Lindsay had trouble kind of pulling that back into the orange paint, but got it in there and got some relief.
And CW will, I think, chew a little bit of clock there, so they do lose possession of it, but at least it is in the other end, so they will get a chance to change and chew up some of this 5-minute major. Coming up the floor now is Holden Spurgeon.
Yep. Center Wellington in a tight little box there for their penalty kill.
Spurgeon spinning, looking for the shot, then look for pass, and he will hand it off. Russell. Shot, that one saved again, and that one retrieved in the paint by Brendan Lindsay. And again, really I do wonder if there will be a goalie change for Center Wellington as they have 2 goalies.
Yeah, at this age, you'd probably think so. It's their 4th game of the weekend, so maybe they win every other. We're not sure.
And now Stanley McDougall around. That shot, odd angle, saved by the Kings. And possession will go the other way, or I thought go the other way, but the ball went into the corner and retrieved again by CW. That shot again, I believed it was saved, and it was.
Yep.
The shot clock will reset.
Snyder with a good wing save.
Surprisingly good goaltending at such a young age.
It really is something to see, isn't it? I've thought the same thing.
We saw it again earlier tonight in the even U9 game.
Looks like number 4, Cavan there, has the C on his jersey as the team captain for Orillia.
Very spaced out right now are the Kings. Looks like a junior B power play.
Yeah, it does.
Cavan with the little fake. That shot right between the legs as the shot clock went off. So possession will go the other way as it did not make contact before the shot clock went off. So CW have another chance to chew about 30 seconds here. We'll see if they can chew that full 30.
And that would take a big chunk of this remaining, last minute of this power play for Orillia. They got their goal early and then haven't had much since.
Crane
Off the
shot.
post.
Crane shot. That one goes off the post. That's at least the third or fourth pipe we've heard.
Holy cow, are these thicker posts than most games?
Yeah, we got to check if these are regulation
Yeah.
in between periods.
Not that we'd question anything here at the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center in Owen Sound.
Lynch trying to retrieve. Away picked up by Peyton Lynch. The power play is now over. We'll see if he can get out of the box, Ken Adams. That ball shot, he does. As
he might
Gavin
get a
puts that
breakaway
one
for his
over.
trouble.
And it will be a breakaway, it looks like, for CW. It's retrieved in. Shot scores. Zachary Crooks picks up the garbage and back in for the Riverhawks.
I thought it was going to be Adams straight out of the box to the power play, to the breakaway. But as you said, Crooks was the one that turned on the wheels, and he took off on everybody like they were standing still. I bet this guy does well at school track and field. Look at him go. And then he changes the angle. You'll see him come off to his right here a little bit. Just get the goalie moving, opening up that hole up over the far shoulder. Finally get something in the mesh, not off the post, and it is 3-2 center Wellington Riverhawks.
Again, they ended up winning the U9 final, so again, we'll see how many medals they come away with here this weekend, as they do have two other teams playing other than this one. As in again comes Orillia.
Nice save.
And it was saved by Lindsay. Brennan Lindsay showing out here in this first period.
Sure he is.
That shot goes wide. That one taken by Shepard, who's got one tonight. Shepard got about 15 to work. It's in the corner. They get the two-man game against, let me see, from the junior Bs. That shot by Joey Norris goes high and wide. They still have another chance, though. Spurgeon's got to shoot. That shot will go wide, and possession will go the other way, and the shot clock will not be a factor here for the illicit home side.
They can run out the rest of the game here with the shot clock, take their time on offense. And we've already seen that they've actually had some pretty good organization in the offensive zone.
Stanley McDougall trying to get into the middle. It bounces by. We'll see if the Orillia Kings can pick it up and get one more opportunity. They do not, so it looks like CW might get an effort, but with fighting it in the corner, we'll chew up the rest of this first period. Contact call, but with the clock running, it's not going to matter.
No.
And that will be the period. The Riverhawks come out 3-2 leaders over the Orillia Kings after one. But again, Michael, I think with these two teams, it's 3-3. We hope for a close one. We expected a close one, and so far we've gotten a close one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It looked, as Center Wellington went up 2-0 early, I thought, oh boy, did we just have mismatched pools, right? And maybe Orillia got through a weaker pool, something like that. But then they showed some resolve right away to get it back, get to 2-2. Of course, took advantage of the power play. Now, I'm sure from a coaching standpoint, they would have liked another one on that 5-minute power play, right? They tied it up at 2 on the power play. And then, unfortunately, it actually worked against them because as Adams came out of the penalty box, they weren't organized enough, and Center Wellington went down, and Crooks was able to put them back up 3-2. Nonetheless, this is shaping up to be a great game, and both these teams proved in that first period why they're in the final here today. You can see the different strategies. We've got Orillia Kings leaning against the boards. I always think it'd be neat to have a mic in there, Spencer, and hear what the coaches are saying. Certainly some intensity from the coach, and I don't know which coach it is, but Andrew Hawk is the head coach for Orillia, with Ryan Snyder and Daryl Batt helping him, and David Davies as the trainer. It'll just be a keep going, boys. We're in this, no problem. And then Center Wellington, they let their kids sit on the bench. Their head coach, Davin McDougall, and Jamie Wright is the trainer. Malcolm Crooks helps with training, and then Donald Lindsay and Brad Fitzpatrick are assistant coaches. So we'll always love to give a shout out to the team staff. It's a lot of time, and it really does provide great opportunities for these kids.
It definitely does. We got about a minute and a half left here in the break. Both teams coming out early, however, which I do think we'll see as the day goes on. The older age groups will take all of that 3 minutes, because these kids, I'd say, are full of energy. We saw with the U9 teams. We saw that. We'll see this with the U11 team. I think even with the U13 team, we'll see that type of style. But the U15 and 17s, I expect, will take the full allotted time in between periods to take their break, take their breather, get their water.
I think you're absolutely right. And just, a difference, right? Like, these kids are chomping at the bit. We even saw it before the game starting ahead of schedule. The teams were ready. They're keen. Almost had a bit of a full practice out there before the game started. But you can see these kids are keen, loving. There's the goaltender, Jackson Snyder. So excited, running down to his net. We'll see. We had, by my count, 4 posts were hit in that first period, maybe a fifth. So they're one goal for Orillia. I think their first goal right off their crossbar, pick it up and go down and score. So give an assist to the crossbar. So we're in for another great period here with these two young teams.
And you see there Brendan Lindsay for CW. Did get the start tonight. The face-off is won by Orillia.
Anderson again. He's a face-off magician so far.
And Ben Anderson will go immediately in. Passed across. Hayes shot that one right into the chest, and it's off the helmet, I'd expect. So CW will gain possession.
Right up off that chin guard.
And Brendan Lindsay's calling to tell you, go behind my net. I'm going to set the pick for you. And they're going to call body contact and go the other way. And possession will stay with CW, and that would be Stanley McDougall.
Devin Russell putting on the full court press here for Orillia. Often you see teams fade back into their house, right around their net, but not Russell. He's putting on the pressure for Orillia.
And it worked out for at least the moment, but now here comes Shea Smith, passed across, nobody home, retrieved though by that looks to be Brendan Wright. Brendan Wright, around the net right will go. Passed in front, just mishandled there by Ben Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick will shoot from a mile away, shot saved as the shot clock ends, and I thought trapped in the orange paint, it was not.
No.
And McDougall will retrieve it. McDougall from a really odd angle, I believe, missed the net. So actually, possession will go the other way.
That first shot from Center Wellington actually looked like it deflected off the stick of Jace Norris, the defenseman, but he was able to get the ball back.
And Anderson quickly up the floor again, passed off to Hayes one more time. Hayes bumped, has to spin back around to take the shot. Hayes passed out there for, that looks to be Anderson.
You can see Hayes using his size there. He's a bigger guy.
Hey, Anderson gets a stick hit, and that ball goes airmailed into the shot clock, but picked up there by Cavan. Cavan from a mile away is going to have to shoot here. What a spin. Cavan shot, scores!
What a shot. Up over the shoulder. Brock Cavan. Looked like actually it wasn't a real dangerous chance. He just put that ball right in the perfect spot. I'm sure we'll get it on a replay here. I know the volunteers in the truck and Mark Perry are working hard on these. You'll see the ball kind of bounce out to Cavan, and then he just picks that top corner. Not a lot that Lindsay could do on that. Here comes the replay on Rogers TV. Cavan up top, takes a step toward the net. Little spin move there, and he is the captain, and he just fires it. And you can see Lindsay shrugged his shoulder up there to try and get that in the way, but just too good of a shot.
Adams with possession now for CW, trying to get away, and now Drew Adams will. Adams around. Passed up, wasn't really expecting it there, was Blake File. That ball put up and almost caught there by DeMules, but just could not retrieve it. It's in the orange paint, so they gotta wait. It does come out, ball popped up and taken by Orillia. Passed into the middle, mishandled. That shot just wide there for Tyler Airdrie, who's already got one tonight.
Batt and Spurgeon had a bit of miscommunication there, and that, made it dangerous for Center Wellington.
Adams now, began with possession. Passed up to Cole Walker. Walker looks like back for Adams. Adams thought about shooting, takes a step back. Adams gonna reassess, back behind the net it goes. Walking in front, jump shot, scores! scores and takes a lick for his trouble. Is Drew Adams.
You want to talk about a perfect shot, Spencer. As he's about to get absolutely lambasted by the defender, Adams goes top cheese right over the shoulder. Or here, let's see, is it Airdrie that gets this?
It actually looks to be Airdrie.
Tyler Airdrie. Look at that. Might have even clipped the shoulder of the goalie. Jackson Snyder might have got a bit of a shoulder on that, but what a shot by Airdrie coming out of the corner. And a great pass from Joey Norris.
Quickly come the other way, and that shot right into the chest and saved.
Now, how big of a save is that for Lindsay? First of all, to make a save, right, to get himself feeling good, but right after they score, he's got to make a save there to keep his team out front.
And he hands it off to Denver Pritchard. And I do want to mention, Lindsay's pretty vocal. When he caught that ball, he went, hey, guys, come in the orange paint, come grab this ball. I want to pass it. I don't want to give it away.
Yep.
As Cavan, now the captain, trying to retrieve it, just could not. Anderson also there. I do want to mention, Anderson's the only player with his number on top of the jersey, or name on top of the jersey, not on the bottom. So I keep getting confused where his name is. As now coming down the floor are the Orillia Kings through 1, through 2. Keldon Campbell passed across. Hayes shot. That one saved away by Lindsay.
Keldon Campbell took that a long way. Had people on his back.
Hayes around 1, round 2, looking to get around a third. He'll pass it up there to Cavan. Hand it off. It'll go around the top. Russell from a mile away. Shot caught again there by Lindsay. And again, he's calling his defense into the orange paint.
You know, and that's really good from a goal. I always thought it was such a great benefit to have goalies that spoke to their teammates, right? They can see the whole play in front of them. They've got such a great view of the game.
And thrown down there was Spencer Thompson, who will go off. Hopefully he's okay, because he took quite a lick there. But regardless, now here come the Kings. Hayes been quite has not gotten the score sheet yet, but has been quite involved in the offense.
It's going to go right back to him too, Spencer.
Hayes from a mile away again. That one saved. And quickly up the floor comes CW. Airmailed, and it's caught. That's Tyler Airdrie, who's got 2. Airdrie for a third. Airdrie scores!
I thought he ran himself out of room, Spencer. I thought he got in too deep and what do I know? He says, hey, Harris, what do you know up there? Right up over the shoulder of Jackson Snyder again. So that was a great pass forward. Maybe we'll go back and be able to see who makes that pass forward to give him the breakaway. And you can see that, Tyler Airdrie did not panic. There's the pass. He doesn't handle it cleanly right away, but he didn't panic. He just kept running and chased it down. Look at this as he goes off to the left, right up over top of the shoulder.
And Ben Anderson, his numerical counterpart, wins the faceoff quickly down. Anderson scores! Ben Anderson second, and talk about lightning. He won that faceoff, Michael, and there he went.
Anything you can do, I can do better, he says to Tyler Airdrie. I don't know if it's better, but it's just as good. Another quick move. We said it earlier, he seems like a face-off wizard, and you like this. He's right back to just drop the ball, let's get going.
And there you see, and he just turns on the afterburners and basically goes uncatchable.
Yeah.
As you do mention, he's actually leading goal scorer for this Orillia team with 9. That makes it 11 on the tournament. That pass just behind Airdrie is looking for a 4th.
And Drew Adams beat him on that beat to Anderson on that face-off. So a good battle here. Oh, he can't get it to number 2.
But Anderson, again, like lightning through the middle. Anderson, shot, saved again there by Lindsay.
Joey Norris was open a little bit up the floor, but Anderson could not see him through the defender's sticks.
That ball passed forward, mishandled by Blake File, but we'll be able to retrieve it. And File's got some space here. Now File's got to start running, as barreling on him was Joey Norris. Trying to get around his File. He does get around Joey Norris, gets his stick hit and can't pass it away, so Joey will come away with it. Joey's got Hayes to his left, as well as it looks to be Shepard. Norris takes it in the middle. That shot scores! Joey Norris!
Up top, over the right shoulder of Lindsay. Again, these perfectly placed shots. There is not much these goaltenders can do against it when the kids are in tight and they go right up top like that. What a shot. And Norris on that shift was up and down the floor 2 or 3 times, and he just kept, look at this, backs the defense off, Little stutter step here, and then, I think his stick got clipped as well, which makes it difficult for the goaltender to read.
And now the face-off for Orillia will be taken by Devin Russell. And he'll go against Ben Fitzpatrick. Face-off won by Orillia, but ball taken away and physical contact called against CW. So possession will go to the Kings. And that's Chase Norris now with possession. Chase passed to Hayes. Hayes takes a bump for his trouble. Hayes now fake. Hayes in. Passed off.
Nice
shot.
pass.
That one just over the net. That one taken by Colton Shepard.
Yeah, nice setup there by Hayes and Shepard.
Russell was able to get the pass from Jace Norris. Russell off to Hayes. Or pardon me, that's Shepard. Shepard shot from a mile away. It's caught there by Lindsay, who again calls the defense into the orange paint. He does not want to pass that ball, and I don't blame him.
No, those goalie sticks aren't designed for great passes, are they?
Not at this age group especially.
Yeah.
As now Airdrie shot. That one low and blocked. Shepard going to retrieve it. Will Shepard be able to get it? He can't seem to get a handle on it. So Orillia looks to try to get away.
Who wants it here?
And it will be picked up by Airdrie. Airdrie takes a bump, takes another bump. Airdrie loses it, goes down, but they're going to call it possession in favor of CW, and they're mighty close to that net.
Airdrie's not a real big guy, but he'll stick his nose in there and take a beating.
And now Fitzpatrick starts. Gives it off to Airdrie. Airdrie passed off, not handled well there by Adams, but Adams able to retrieve it regardless. Adams around, Adams shot, scores! And Adams with his first, and it's 6-5 now in favor of the Riverhawks. And again, we hope for a close one, Michael, and we're getting one.
Oh, absolutely. This is a lacrosse game, isn't it? We are here in the second period, 6-5 for Center Wellington. You look at the bit of a pick thrown there. Nice little pick thrown by Tyler Airdrie, and that just frees up Drew Adams, who just rifles that ball home.
And Adams assisted on Airdrie's amazing goal from behind the net, so obviously they have some sort of partnership in the two-man game, which you wouldn't exactly expect to see two-man game at the U11 level, but here we are.
Yeah, pretty impressive what these teams are doing here at the U11.
Daniel Demules now with possession. He'll hand it off. Mishandled there for the second, but retrieved. That was pardon me, that would be Vervoort, but shot in front, save. That was Adams looking for a second.
Yeah. He's been all over it all game, and so to be rewarded with that goal.
Ben Fitzpatrick fakes the shot. Fitzpatrick shot, I believe, saved. Demules shot takes a bump for his trouble by Cavan, and he'll take another bump from Cavan, and possession will stay with CW.
Yeah.
And they're going to wait for the whistle here, and they'll get it. Passed in front.
Looked like he had Vervoort going toward the net.
And for Harioki now trying to get through. Somehow kept possession.
That's a strength there, isn't it, Spencer, to keep that ball?
To be able to lose it and then regain it, I think, is even more impressive.
Absolutely.
Anderson now takes the bump. Anderson from a pretty far shot, bounced it, and it just skips over Brendan Lindsay.
Those bouncers are pretty hard to predict.
Campbell, that shot blocked in front and taken there by CW. I think I tried to get through quite a few shirts, and
he is through.
That is
Number
Trent
16.
Crane. Crane now. 2-on-1, passed across. I thought passed back, and it was, and it just missed.
I think maybe one too many passes, but really neat what these kids are looking to do on the rush like that.
I think he ran into too much real estate and tried to get it back to Crane, who wasn't really ready for it.
Yeah.
Shea Smith now, that shot wide and tried to be retrieved by CW. It is a shot again, saved there by Jackson Schneider.
That was a great save because Blake File had that ball looked like it was going into that top corner. So a nice save there by Schneider.
Anderson now, Ben Anderson again with possession in the defensive zone, and Anderson will now travel.
This guy is smooth on the floor, isn't he? Number 5, Ben Anderson.
And now it's Holden Spurgeon. Spurgeon hands it off to Hawk. Looking back for Spurgeon does Hawk. He's looking for an option. Can't seem to find one. He'll pass it there to the back door. Wasn't retrieved cleanly.
No,
almost got it
around.
off the boards. Then Winterhawks will get away, and as you see there, Brendan Lindsay was waiting to set that pick. He's been waiting all night, and he'll finally get away with it.
He wants to get involved physically.
That pass, what a look there by Tyler Airdrie. Tried to get it there to Denver Pritchard, just could not retrieve it.
Nice job by Tyson Hawk to get his stick in the way on defense, and here he goes with the ball now.
And Hawk will turn back. Thought better of it, and he'll pass it forward. That's Jacob Batt. Back for Hawk. Hawk. Across the top. That's Spurgeon. Back to Hawk. Hawk can take it from a mile away. That shot airmailed over. Might be retrieved there by Spurgeon. Spurgeon's got to shoot quick. That ball bounced, not touched, I don't believe, so possession will go the other way. We only got about a minute left, so we might only have one more possession, maybe two. That ball airmailed over, so it looks like the Kings will immediately get the ball back.
And Hawk will have it again. He might need a change. He's been out there for a little while.
That's another problem with these lower age groups. They don't really have, I'll say, full rosters, so players do play a lot as Hawk fans on it, but the shot clock did just reset, so it will not cause him too much trouble. It's now Joey Norris. Tried to fire it gets blocked, and now here comes, that's Tyler Airdrie.
1-on-5, but if anybody can do it.
It's Airdrie. That shot off the mask, I want to say, but maybe off the crossbar.
Yeah.
He threw his head at it for sure, did Schneider.
Yep.
As CW still got possession, though. That's McDougall. Stanley McDougall passed it into the netting, and possession will go the other way, but with the clock still running, this might not get a chance here for the Kings as the clock is elapsing a little too quickly.
Airdrie looking dangerous, and that pass was meant to come over to him. It just got away on him.
And Airdrie again will stop any opportunity there for the away side as the period will conclude. 6-5 now in favor of the Riverhawks as Center Wellington looks to get their second gold medal of the night.
Yeah, and what a period, right? Like, we are being treated to a great game here. Chances at both ends, more crossbars and posts. You mentioned it before, or a couple times that period, you know, Brandon Lindsay, the goaltender for Center Wellington, getting involved, directing traffic, talking to his teammates, setting a pick. Some great saves in the other end by the goalie, Jackson Snyder. And we're starting to see the different personalities kind of take over, right? Airdrie, the sniper probably for Center Wellington. Anderson on the face-offs. It's really neat to see the advanced skill level of these young kids. I find myself looking down there, and there's the Orillia Kings. So in Orillia, their hockey system's called the Orillia Terriers, and they wear black helmets. So parents have had to shell out for two different helmets here, and they're all wearing blue. But then with Center Wellington, the Center Wellington Fusion wear black helmets. So those, you know, you'll see some hockey stickers on some of these helmets too, as we always have lots of multi-sport athletes when we're talking about U11s, playing lacrosse, whatever it may be.
And not only that, I know, I'll say Brian Burke, but people in like hockey want athletes to play more than one sport.
Absolutely.
They want kids to play more than one thing.
Yeah.
I know in high school it's also kind of promoted normally.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. With the increased opportunity for specialization, you can play any sport all year round if you want to. But all the experts would say to you that differentiation is better. You know, if you're playing hockey in the winter, play lacrosse, soccer, baseball, whatever it might be in the summer. If you're, you know, maybe you do a hockey school halfway through the summer or whatever because you need day camp anyway and skill development. Same thing with lacrosse. You're playing lacrosse all summer, lots of time. There's opportunities to do that in the winter too, but do something else. As you said, play the sports at school, play some hockey, play some minor basketball, whatever the case may be. But do lots of different activities, especially at these younger ages, right? You get up to 16, 17, 18, maybe, you know, even 15, needs some more specialization occurs as you're trying to pursue different sports. But at these ages, play everything you can.
I think a perfect example of that, I will kind of personalize it for Owen Sound, is Carter Moran. Carter Moran plays for the Junior B team, is the leading goal scorer and point getter, played junior basketball for St. Mary's, and also plays hockey for, I believe it was Grey Highlands. So, again, multi-sport athlete.
Absolutely, right? And it just rounds you out as an athlete, gives you the different strengths. And you can see what Carter is doing with lacrosse, which is the sport that he's, you know, pursuing to play at higher levels even, right? But everything he's learned from basketball, from hockey, from, you know, I'm sure he's gone out you know, knowing his dad and growing up with him, I'm sure he's been out throwing the baseball around, all that stuff too, right?
Face-off won by Center Wellington. Ben Fitzpatrick had possession, lost it to Ben Anderson, who takes a couple whacks from Fitzpatrick for his trouble. But now possession back to Orillia. Down comes Devin Russell. Russell for Ben Anderson. Anderson, fresh off the intermission. That shot, good save, stepped in, however, so possession will go the other way. And I do want to mention that Brendan Lindsay has been in the entire game, and they do have Regan Woods on the bench, number 30. So they are, I guess, just going every other game.
Yeah, I would hope so. And at a turn, like at this age in this sport, might go half games in the regular season because you don't play as often. And then at a tournament, switch to every other.
Right past it. Good shot there by Center Wellington, but it looked like it just went over.
Yeah, nice setup.
Again, the passing we've seen from this U11 group just makes my mouth want to water for the older age group we're going to get to.
What's to come, absolutely.
Hayes. Thinking about it, he'll hand it off. Looking back to Shepard. That ball mishandled, though, and here comes CW. Flying down the floor, and guess who it is? It's Airdrie. Airdrie, though, getting harassed by Hayes behind him. Airdrie stops up, spins, shot right into the chest there of Jackson Schneider.
Schneider did a great job there of pinning his arm against his body because that had the potential to sneak through. I thought Airdrie had space to keep going, but he kind of stopped up and feeling the pressure from Hayes.
Buharioki just could not catch that one as it got airmailed by Hayes, who looked for the change. But now, again, possession to the listed home side. Cole Walker. Around he'll go. Cole Walker takes a bump. Passes it off to Airdrie. Airdrie shot low. That one goes wide. It will go into the orange paint, though, so he won't be able to get a rebound. And away come the Kings. That's Jacob Batt. Batt gives it off.
Orillia looking for the equalizer here.
That is Shepard. Shepard shot tipped, and it will go well wide. Retrieved, though, by Anderson. Anderson gets it up to Shepard. Shepard wide open. Shot. That saved into the netting, so possession will stay with Orillia, but Brendan Lindsay's looked great for Center Wellington here today.
Sure has. Yeah, sure has. You can see as that shot was coming in, he stepped out toward the shooter and took away some of the angle. Again, in lacrosse, the goalies tend to stay fairly close to their net because the players get so close to their net, and the shots usually come from a little bit closer, but he came out and challenged just enough to get that off the shoulder.
Anderson gets the rebound off the glass. He pass it down. That shot didn't get through Lindsay as he'll hand it off. I believe that would have been Joey Norris, and it was, who had the opportunity at the odd angle, just could not beat Lindsay. But now up the floor comes CW. It's Brandon Wright. Or no, pardon me, it's Daniel Demules. Demules puts it in the middle. It was a great catch. Still looking for a shot at the net, though. Can't flip his hips. Now he will, but he'll lose possession of it and go the other way. Unlucky there for Stanley McDougall.
McDougall caught that in traffic and then never could quite get comfortable.
And Anderson now takes a tumble. Had an opportunity at the net, so he'll have to pass it off. I do want to mention that you talked about the C for Cavan. Anderson's got an A on his shirt as that pass across saved and picked up by McDougall.
Looked like Anderson slipped on a spot of sweat there or something on the floor.
But now here again come CW, and that one looks to be Brendan Wright. Wright waits up for the offense to show up. Again, we usually don't see specialization until the older age groups like U15 and especially U17. So all these kids play both sides of the ball.
Yeah, there's rules in place to prevent that, just so we get kids developing every aspect of the game, right? And the term now in coaching is long-term player development, right? We want everybody to develop all the skills.
As Airdrie fighting for it there, couldn't get possession, but CW will get away with it as not happy with the extra shot there was Drew Adams, but possession will stay with CW, and it is Airdrie. Tyler Airdrie, who's got 3 goals tonight. Big reason why CW is in the lead right now. He'll hand it off. Down for Adams. Adams shot that one at an on-angle save. Adams retrieves. Adams takes a bump. I thought Adams would shoot that one. So did I. But he turned the wrong way, so he'll pass it out there to Brendan Wright. Wright takes the screen from Airdrie. Tried to hand it off. Just missed Spencer Thompson. Picked up, though, by Adams. Adams into the middle. Shot scores! Airdrie's got 4.
What a nice play by Center Wellington. you know, Airdrie cutting across the front of the net, and his teammate sees him and whips the ball into him. The big thing is how quickly they get rid of the ball like in their stick. The Lacrosse one-timer is kind of a misnomer, but essentially that's what it is. You get it, one little quick stick handle, and here it is. So it is Adams again, and Airdrie standing there all alone. Adams to Airdrie combination has just been lethal. So 4 goals for Airdrie and 1 for Adams, and I think Adams has a few assists.
on Airdrie's alone.
Yeah.
As Hayes will retrieve it off the face-off. Hayes now with a full head of steam, has a player in the middle, passed in front, that shot, great save, and that was a one-timer again.
Yeah, sure was.
But Joey Norris could not beat Brendan Lindsay, but regardless, he stepped in, so it wouldn't have counted, but Lindsay stands tall.
Yeah, maybe Hayes could have passed that a step sooner. Either way, they had a nice play on net and forced Lindsay to make a good save.
Zachary Crooks got through 3 different red shirts, kept possession somehow, but will lose it in the end. To Orillia, and it's O'Brien who has possession. O'Brien to Shepard. Shepard now, through the middle. He'll pass it forward, that's to Joey Norris. Norris stops up, 4-on-1 for Norris. Norris takes a bump. He's gonna turn around and hand it off, and he will. And that's Spurgeon. Spurgeon now. Hands it off there, that shot by Shepard, caught and saved there by Lindsay again.
With the nice rebound control there. Nothing gets away from him.
That ball does get away, though, from McDougall. So
look who's on it.
Ben Anderson will get away, and it's 1-on-5 now for Anderson, but he's got the Jets off the fresh change. Anderson takes the bump. Anderson in, shot saved by Brendan Lindsay.
Lindsay is not letting Orillia back into this game, is he?
Oh, and a big hit there from Ben Anderson, and not gotten up yet. There was Denver Pritchard, but passed across anyway. Jace Norris into the middle, caught. Shot by Anderson, it goes up and over, and he'll take a shot from his numerical counterpart in Tyler Airdrie.
This is getting physical, folks. These kids are into this one.
Around, passed in front, Norris couldn't retrieve it. Spurgeon's got to shoot. He won't before the shot clock, and it'll go the other way, but I do want to mention, thank goodness, is up and okay is Denver Pritchard, because he took a heavy lick from Ben Anderson. Yeah,
and then Keldon Campbell dished out a great big hit too, but these kids are resilient.
Walker, passed around the horn it goes. Airdrie might get this one back, he doesn't. It's a spin, shot blocked, and it will bounce into the orange paint, but comes all the way through back to Brennan Wright. Airdrie calling for it right from an odd angle, I think missed the net, so it will bounce to Airdrie. Airdrie around 1, Airdrie shoots it from an odd angle as the shot clock goes off, so possession will go the other way. We got about 7 minutes left in this one, 7-5 in favor of the Riverhawks.
It really is not going away here. This is going to be a great final 7 minutes.
That shot scores!
What do we say, Spencer? From a little farther out than I think Lindsay had made some enormous saves leading up to this goal. And then Ethan Verioki just says, I'm going to put this in from out here and get us rolling again. What a shot, kind of off the post and in, or just inside the post.
The Verioki there with the little shimmy also at the end, and I like that to see here from the wide. He saw the short side, and he's able to beat Brendan Lindsay.
I wonder if that shot kind of surprised Lindsay as well. Didn't think he was going to shoot it from there. Because the Center Wellington team all kind of seemed to be standing pretty tall while he took that shot.
Ben Fitzpatrick gets it whacked at his stick before he can pass it across there to Shea Smith, who was wide open on the far side. But now Orillia will come the other way, now down only by 1 with 6 to go. Pass stolen immediately away, though, by Ben Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick takes a bump. Fitzpatrick in, shot. Saved, I believe, and it will skip out the other way. Lucky for Schneider as away comes Hayes.
Well, Aurelia's kind of lucky there. They get a goal, and then they come back with a bad giveaway, and there was no harm. So that's very lucky for the Orillia Kings as they try to get the equalizer here with Hayes.
Levon Hayes. That shot saved there by Lindsay. Attempt taken by Keldon Campbell.
He's a big lad, so you can put a lot behind that ball when he gets a shot off.
But now away comes, that looks to be Zachary Crooks. Crooks in for McDougall. McDougall's shot as he just couldn't get that one away. Stick got tied up. Good defense by the Kings. That ball gets airmailed back Airdrie tried to retrieve it. Airdrie will knock it back to himself. Airdrie passed in front. McDougall just couldn't get a stick to it. That ball will bounce into the orange paint and be picked up by Campbell.
Some good passing on display in that latest possession by Center Wellington, and it freed McDougall up for a couple of good chances.
Anderson again. Been the most dangerous King tonight. Pass back to Shepard. Shepard, that shot saved, I believe.
Yeah, I think so, but through traffic like that, that's a dangerous shot, Spencer. When it's 7-6 like this, every shot toward the net gets a little nerve-wracking.
And a whistle will go, and they're going to...
So they're going to call, is that Adams or... yeah,
it is.
They're going to call Adams, I think, on a bit of a shove off. You can't get your hand off your stick and shove people away like that.
Can't do the push off like in basketball, as now Spurgeon.
That's right.
Shepard from a mile away, that shot off the mask, and the whistle will go, and they will chuck up on Brendan Lindsay, who I bet is going to say no matter what, yeah, I'm good, let's go.
Yep, let's get this rolling here.
Airdrie.
Now it is straight time here, so you know, again, if you go straight time, the older age groups are going to be savvy enough to maybe waste time, not, you know, when they can. Nice pick set there.
That's for Airdrie as well.
Yeah,
back
right.
for Airdrie, couldn't retrieve it there as Spurgeon will take it away, and that pick was by Brendan Wright.
Yeah, it was a great pick by Wright.
And now up the floor comes Tyson Hawk. Hawk, who's also got an A on his shirt. Hawk now will lug it up the floor. He'll land it off there to to Parker Lynch. Lynch down low. Got it there is Hayes. Hayes through the middle, takes a bump, and he'll go down. Hayes slow to get up, and another bump, as that is Daniel DeMules, who's just throwing the body around. His possession will, though, go the other way.
Is this under 11 lacrosse, Spencer? Like, I'm losing track of the ages here with how physical they're playing and the body checks. It is one thing about lacrosse that they do the body contact right from the very start. And, you know, like the philosophy around that is if it's always part of the game, you will learn it right from the beginning. Giving a hit, but even more importantly, taking a hit.
Yeah, it immediately goes down. They're going to call a cross-check as Airdrie came over to say, hey, Russell, are you sure about that? But regardless, back up and running, there is Brendan Wright.
And number 8, Devin Russell's going to get a penalty here. And it's tough timing for Orillia.
And there's only 2:52 left. And as you mentioned, Devin Russell will go for 2 or less, I believe.
They're giving out 2 penalties here.
Oh, my goodness.
So 17, Hayes. So they called, each referee called a penalty here, it seems like we're hearing from Mark Perry down in the truck.
Which might mean, Michael, that this game's over as you see Hayes can't believe it.
Both of them got a high sticking penalty.
I guess you and I missed Hayes. I think you and I both saw Russell's.
We did, certainly.
As you saw right there was
again,
Russell.
That cross check gets high. And then here's another one. Oh,
that's kind of soft.
Oh, maybe the
later
there.
one?
Anyway, regardless, it's going to be tough for Orillia to come, but they're on a break, 2-on-1.
2-on-1, down 2 players. In is Anderson, shot saved by Lindsay.
What a save by Lindsay at a critical time, my goodness.
But again, Orillia down 2 players, back to Ben Anderson. Anderson's got to beat, and they're going to call a high stick against the Riverhawks, which means it'll be 4-on-3 in favor of CW as this game finally starts getting some penalties called, as we've talked about the physicality shown by both teams as away goes Drew Adams for 2 or less.
And Drew Adams, they do not want him off the floor for Center Wellington. He has been a setup man, a key setup man. So what I could see out on the floor as you're looking at Adams there, Ben Anderson came out and called a timeout for Orillia. So I imagine, like in most, you know, minor hockey, kind of stuff, minor lacrosse, you get 1 timeout per game. So look at the chance that Ben Anderson had 5-on-3. He took it down. They actually had a 2-on-1, I think, running with them. I couldn't see who was running with them, but now they're going to have 4-on-3 in favor of Center Wellington. So Orillia is not going to quit. They've got a chance going forward here.
And they're only down by 1. Which, You'd think with the 5-on-3 would be insurmountable, but with a 4-on-3, it's a little bit easier to stomach, especially when you have a player like Ben Anderson who's trying to take on 5-on-1 on the 5-on-3, and then draws the minor on the high stick by Drew Adams.
And there you can see Lindsay, Brendan Lindsay right there. He has been huge all game, but a big save here on Anderson there on that break. So that gives his team a chance. And there you can see Jackson Snyder, who's played a great game as well. Really good display of goaltending in this game.
Both teams came in averaging less than 4 goals a game. They both allowed more than they usually do, but again, they're also two teams that average 10 goals a night. So these two teams are both good defensively and offensively. As Ben Anderson will start with it.
As you said, they'll be making your friend Caleb Martin proud with all the saves they're making here tonight. Or this morning, I guess.
And Anderson around Airdrie. That shot saved. That would be Shepard, and it's going to be off the mask, so possession will go to CW.
Another good chance by Orillia right out of that timeout. Remember, Center Wellington has 4 players to 3, but they give it away.
Just over the head there was Zachary Crooks for
Anderson's got it.
For Airdrie, and there comes Ben Anderson. Anderson around 1, around 2. Anderson makes it 2-on-2 in favor of Orillia. Anderson around, pass across, shot. Shepard can't capitalize. Unlucky for Shepard, but they're going to call contact, and they're going to go the other way.
Wow.
And Orillia can't believe it, as the ball will go in favor of CW, and around will go Brendan Wright.
Minute and a half.
Flying up the floor, passed in front. Can they get a handle? No, could not. There was Zachary Crooks. Crooks gets the screen from Airdrie. Pass across the floor, lots of space for these guys. That shot
Good
saved
save
by the net there, and it's in the orange paint, so Orillia will get a chance to play it, but it's an in-and-out call. What a play there. What a smart play by Brendan Wright to make the in-and-out call.
Just to keep the pressure on. And Ben Anderson with an uncharacteristic little mistake there.
And they're going to call a timeout for...
Timeout Center Wellington.
Which will mean that with 1:05 left in this one, 13-15 on the minors for the Kings, and then 47 for the minor for CW. It's going to be quickly 4-on-4 and then 5-on-4.
Good point. And look, you can see right there the coach, and I don't know which coach that is, but let's say that's Davin McDougall as the head coach probably. That's what he's explaining right here. In 15 seconds, you're going to be shorthanded, so get that, use the whole shot clock, waste the time, and then get the ball down in Aurelia's end.
Or try to score.
Well, that would be ideal, wouldn't it?
Either way, either get a good opportunity quick or then chew that full 30 that they're going to get with this timeout. As we see a team coming out here, I don't know.
Owen Sound North Stars.
It does look to be the North Star team, one of 2 playing in the finals this afternoon. The U13 team are the first, and they will be up next against the Cambridge Highlanders. And then later tonight, we'll see the U17 team play in their final against Barrie.
Yeah, so 3 Center Wellington teams make it to the final and 2 Owen Sound. So that's a pretty good weekend for Owen Sound. There was a paperweight division here this weekend as well. The wee little guys, they do not have finals on Sunday, or again, anyway, they're not worked into this schedule on Rogers TV, but lots of lacrosse here for the weekend.
And Airdrie now will get a chance to chew it. Airdrie gets around. It's 3-on-3 right now, so I guess that's probably what they're doing with the extra player here, playing back for the guys coming out. And guess who's coming out right now? It's Hayes and Russell, and Hayes, one of the more talented offensive players. Joey Norris looking for Hayes.
40 seconds left.
Hayes around. Hayes passed off. Shepard saved by Lindsay. Thought it got behind him.
The post. That was off the post. These posts have been unreal today. Holy cow.
They've been almost as good as the goalies. That ball rolled all the way down.
And they've pulled the goalie for 6-on-4. It'll be 6-on-5 for the last 20 seconds or so.
For Haryoki, throws it forward. It's caught by Anderson. Ben Anderson spinning. Anderson still got a shot. That one goes over, but caught. Shot blocked, and it goes wide. Shepard couldn't
5 seconds.
Norris got to get a hold of it. Norris gets shot. Airdrie shot in the middle, and that goes. And CW have won the gold medal. Their second of the afternoon.
What a game. Folks, we said it right at the very lead into this game. Both of these teams were 3-0. Unbelievable, and Orillia pushed it right to the end. They got the power play in the last few seconds, and were able to put some more pressure on. They got the right person the ball, Ben Anderson, and Brendan Lindsay just equal to the challenge in net there for the Center Wellington Riverhawks. That is some great minor lacrosse here, Spencer, on the Sunday of the Father's Day tournament here in Owen Sound.
Yeah, and Colton Shepard, number 13 for Orillia as well, had an opportunity after rebound, just could not capitalize. And I don't want to say we peaked already, Michael, but it's going to be hard to top this game.
The only thing that'll make it better for Owen Sound viewers is we'll have an Owen Sound team in the next game. But that flurry of action at the end in a 7-6 game, two U11 teams that showed really what sport is all about. They played physical, they played hard, they went back and forth. One team would get a couple goal lead and then the other team would battle back and tie it up. Nobody gave up. Holy cow, the future of lacrosse is pretty bright here in this region.
Yeah, and talk about all the minors there at the very end of it, also added to the drama.
Did it ever.
5-on-3, then 4-on-3, then 5-on-4 for Orillia to try to come back. They pull the goalie as 20 seconds basically elapses. I mean, that game had just about everything you and I could think of to say for a storybook ending.
Yeah, and both goaltending, Snyder and Lindsay, and played great, made some great saves at critical times. The posts came into effect. Just excitement everywhere. These parents and siblings and everybody that's down here watching. And the stands are filling up because there's more games to come. So they're being treated to a good show here. Yeah,
and I think Tyler Airdrie with his 4 goals is another, again, big factor for the 7-6 win for his CW team, who come away with their second straight gold medal as they won the U9 game as well. And they will be involved in the U15 final with CW, so they can come away with more goals.
Holy cow. Center Wellington, we talked about it in both broadcasts. Great things going in sport there. We saw Walker and Crooks, names on this team that we also saw in the U9s. So just, their communities wrapped around lacrosse in Elora and Fergus. So no surprise that they're showing their strength. Orillia, again, a hotbed of lacrosse there. Families involved for generations. So it's usual suspects here in the finals of this Owen Sound Father's Day tournament.
But again, stay tuned because we've got the Owen Sound North Stars against the Cambridge Highlanders in the U13 final coming up next here on Rogers TV.